The China Report for Wednesday, March 27, 2013. China's carrier killer missile challenges dominant U.S. To counter the dominance of U.S. aircraft carrier battlegroups in the Western Pacific, China is developing a new type of guided missile with a range of between 1,500 and 3,000 kilometers. The Dongfeng 21D will be guided by China's newly launched Beidou navigation satellite system, which can spot and track target aircraft carriers, and will carry an armor-penetrating tip. They will be deployed at the Guangzhou Military District. The navigation system uses 16 satellites and covers the majority of East Asia seas. China will lead BRIC nations out of U.S. dollar. As the annual BRIC nations conference gets underway, it was reported in the last several days that the Chinese RMB reached a 19-year high against the U.S. dollar. It was also reported the value of Chinese currency swap deals reached 2 trillion yuan. By the end of 2012, China had entered into currency swap arrangements with 19 trading partners, including Hong Kong, South Korea, Malaysia, Belarus, Indonesia, Argentina, Mongolia, Iceland, Singapore, New Zealand, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Thailand, Pakistan, United Arab Emirates, Turkey, Australia, Brazil and Ukraine, involving a total amount of 2.01 trillion yuan. China and Brazil signed $30 billion currency swap agreement. Trade between China and Brazil has grown robustly over the past few years, with volumes rising from $6.7 billion in 2003 to nearly $75 billion in 2012. A large chunk of this growth has been driven by growing Chinese demand for Brazil's resources, such as iron ore and soy products. Meanwhile, Brazil has also become a key export market for goods manufactured in China. China has been pushing for a more international role for its currency, the yuan. It has been trying to promote the yuan as an alternative to the US dollar as a global reserve currency. The astonishing speed of Chinese censorship. In China, internet penetration has grown massively in the last decade, from 4.6% in 2002 to 42.1% in 2012. Microblogging site Sina Weibo only launched in 2010, but it now has 300 million users and about 100 million messages are sent daily. It clearly plays an important role in the discourse surrounding current events in China. The Chinese government seems to require Chinese companies to maintain internal censorship regimes. There have been several interesting studies on how Chinese censorship works and how to work around it. A key part of censorship in China revolves around the use of both foreign and domestic IT components like the Great Firewall, which uses Cisco technology. Chinese executives go back to school. Chinese executives are going back to school partly because, unlike their Western counterparts, many did not have the chance to study properly earlier in life. The average age of executive MBA students is 41 or 42, with almost 20 years of work experience. They are much older than their counterparts in Europe or the US, said Ken Yinghe, the dean of the School of Economics and Management at Tsinghua University in Beijing. They simply didn't have a chance to study business in their 20s. Some never finished high school. They grew up during the chaos of the Cultural Revolution and then built their careers through the state-owned enterprise system in the 1980s and 1990s. So, they are now catching up with executives from other nations in many areas such as world trade and proper business disciplines. One area of expertise that has been overlooked has to do with business ethics and social morality. In the past, these key areas of conduct had been overlooked when it comes to Chinese business activity. That's the China Report for today. Zaijian.